Hi, my name's Greta. I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my experience as a parent of an exchange student. So first of all, how did this all start? Well, this whole idea of going on student exchange was entirely our daughter Milla's idea. It wasn't mine, it was definitely not my husband's, and I think that's really important. It has to come from them because they're the ones who are getting excited about it and driving the whole experience. So when Milla first told us about wanting to go on student exchange, we didn't take too long to say yes. We actually thought it was a great idea and we helped her to make it happen. Going on exchange isn't for every child. It's for those children who are open to new ideas, flexible and adaptable, and courageous. Because it does take courage to get on a plane and leave everything behind and travel to the other side of the world to start over again with a whole new family, a new school, and often a whole new language. And to be honest, it actually is pretty gutsy as a parent too to let them go. And you worry, you think, will they be okay? Will they fit in? But you take that big leap of faith and what you find is that these wonderful host families treat them like their own and give them a second home. Milla went on her exchange for 6 months in the first half of grade 10. We felt this was the perfect time because it didn't interrupt her senior studies, but was long enough to give her a full immersive experience in Spain. Now, some students go for longer, for 12 months, but we felt that was a fairly long time for a young person to be away from home and also from school. Other students go for a much shorter time, maybe a term or 10 or 12 weeks. And we felt that that wouldn't quite be enough time for her to fully feel at home, get into a routine, and have the immersive experience. So for us, 6 months was the perfect time for our family. What is the application process like? We looked around and we did our own research before landing upon Students of the World, and they were fantastic. They helped us navigate the whole process, the application, all the paperwork, and the visa application. And they kept me calm as well. In the beginning, Milla's original host family that she'd been matched with fell through, unfortunately, but they reassured us and they promptly found a wonderful host family. I won't lie, it felt very strange without having Milla around, and the house felt a lot quieter. But we kept ourselves busy, we stayed in touch and we spoke regularly. Enough, but not too often, particularly in the beginning. It's a fine balance between staying connected and letting them gain their newfound independence and freedom. I guess this will look different for every family. Surprisingly, there wasn't as much homesickness as I expected. Of course, there were moments, but keeping busy helped. Milla got involved in everything. She got involved in her school activities, her family's activities. She even did Zumba with the local grandmas in the town. I guess homesickness will vary from child to child, but with technology these days, keeping in touch is easy. One of the things I'd advise parents to think about early on is managing expectations. Some host families may expect their Australian exchange student to speak to them or their children in English to help them learn a new language. Other host families may be happy to provide a full immersive experience in their own language. But having this conversation early will help prevent any miscommunications later on. There may also be miscommunications due to the language barrier, and this is normal and to be expected. And one other thing is just to remind your child that their host family will look different to their own, but to embrace it. Is it okay to visit? We did not visit Milla during her 6-month exchange to Spain. We thought that visiting and then leaving again would make the homesickness worse. And we wanted her to fully embrace the experience without having us around. But recently as a family, we went back to Spain and it was fantastic. not just for Milla, but for us as parents. Seeing the impact she'd had on the people that she'd met was wonderful. Milla was able to reconnect with her friends and her host family and show us around, speaking the language fluently, giving us a true local experience. Milla has this whole second family now in Spain. She has this whole community in Spain around her, and that made us very, very proud. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Milla has made lifelong friends, and she got to experience the true Spanish culture, not just as a tourist or as a visitor, but as part of a big local Spanish family and community. Milla got to experience the locals' routines, the afternoon siestas, the very late nights, the festivals, and she even got to go to Running of the Bulls through her very own town. Milla loves to cook, so she embraced the local cuisine and cooking with her family, learning lots of new recipes and trying lots of new different foods, including bull's tail. Milla had learned a little bit of the Spanish language before going, just the basics, but we had no idea that her language would get this good in 6 months. Of course, it was very hard in the beginning. She would tell us that her brain hurt from having to think and concentrate and translate everything all day. But she wouldn't let anyone speak to her in English, and bit by bit, she got the language, swear words, slang and all. Going on exchange was not just about learning a new language, but obviously this is a complete bonus and has been really life-changing for her. Well, Milla has certainly come home from her exchange with this newfound confidence. She's fearless and courageous. And we're very proud of her too, because we know going on exchange wasn't easy. There definitely were challenges along the way, but she got through them and now she's stronger for the experience. And she knows that now she can take on even bigger challenges. My final advice: should you let your child go on exchange? If you're considering it, do it. It's not easy to let them go, but the lifelong friendships that they will make, the experiences that they will have, and the personal growth, it's absolutely worth it. They will come home more independent, more confident, and ready to take on the world.